Dear gents and ladies, this is a new series of talks. The objective is to present a brief, critical review of major events of each week. The first topic I'm taking is Ukraine war. A Ukraine war has dragged on for 10 months, and though a harsh winter is on and the battlegrounds covered with snow, the senseless fighting goes on. There have been heavy casualties both of soldiers and civilians on both sides. In the meanwhile, a humanitarian crisis is also on, for Europe faces the biggest influx of refugees since World War II. An estimated 8 million Ukrainians have fled their country. Moreover, since Russia has targeted Ukraine's power plants, most of the civilians left behind have no electricity this winter to heat their homes, no gas for cooking. Russia had already taken over Crimea in 2014, and it was only its insatiable greed for more that led to its invasion of Ukraine. It had started building military formations along Ukraine border from March 2021 itself. Worried, President Zelensky of Ukraine had urged Russia to hold talks and sort out the issue in a peaceful manner. Russia, however, rejected the offer. Also, it assured Western nations that it had no plans to invade Ukraine. Not convinced still of Russia's intentions, President Macron of France and President Scholz of Germany had tried to dissuade Putin from attacking Ukraine, warning of serious consequences otherwise. Yet, ignoring such pleas, Russia launched an all-out attack on Ukraine on February 24 of this year. In the 5 telephonic conversations he had with President Putin, PM Modi repeatedly urged Russia to stop fighting and work for peace. He repeated this message in his personal meeting with Putin in September at SCO this year also. But his sensible advice went unheeded, and prospects of a truce don't look very bright right now, though Russia is also facing a huge economic crisis. Thousands of its professionals have fled their country, since over 1,000 major companies have shut down their offices in Russia. Its billions of dollars of assets have also been frozen by Western countries. Unfortunately, the impact of this regional war has been global. Russia supplied oil and gas to European countries, and now that those supplies have been cut off, there is an acute shortage of both, and prices have skyrocketed. Elsewhere too, prices have surged, causing inflation. The sensible course for both Ukraine and Russia would be to come to the negotiating table even now. With so many casualties, it is falling short of soldiers as well as of arms and ammunition. Nor is winter, with its sub-zero temperatures, the best time to carry on war. Unfortunately, USA, the sole superpower, has not shown the kind of statesmanship expected of it at this juncture. Rather than pouring billions in arms and other aid to Ukraine, it should have seized the initiative to end a bruising and meaningless war. But no such diplomatic initiative coming forth from USA. Hence, the coming year might well begin on a somber note, while the world keeps wrestling with the twin crises of energy and food. The second topic of this I'm covering is COVID in China. This is also a major event of this week. With its zero COVID policy, China imposed China confined its citizens so as to contain the deadly virus. But when people came out on the streets in thousands to protest against such repression, an angered government abandoned its harsh policy abruptly. Unfortunately, since the people were kept indoors mostly, they failed to develop the kind of herd immunity that we in India did. The result was that BF7, the deadly new variant of Omicron, hit them hard, and thousands started dying each day. Nor were the hospitals able to cope with such an emergency, and the whole system collapsed. There were not enough beds nor doctors and nurses for the unending stream of COVID patients, and the crematorians have to deal with so many corpses that the relatives of the dead have to wait for weeks to dispose them of. Also, this is only the first wave of the epidemic. Medical experts believe that China may have to go through one of its worst health crises in decades, causing deaths of millions before the country can recover. For the country is also short of drugs and testing kits. No doubt, China spent millions on quarantine and testing facilities, but it made no contingency plans to add to its hospitals and recruit more medical staff to cope with a health crisis of such proportions, nor did it take care to vaccinate enough of its seniors. This is bound to put a lot of pressure on China's health system as more of them succumb to the deadly virus. China has also refused to roll out the Western-made mRNA vaccines like Pfizer, Moderna, or AstraZeneca, which have been more effective in combating the coronavirus than the China-made Sinovac and other vaccines. Further, while China poses to be a superpower, yet its health facilities are nowhere close to those of the West. For example, China has 2 physicians per 1,000 people, whereas UK has 5.8. It has only 3.6 intensive care beds per 1 lakh people, whereas USA has 34.7, which means 10%. Germany has 29.2 and Italy 12.5 beds per 1 lakh people. In short, China's authoritarian regime has failed to deal with a pandemic that started from that country itself, killing over 6 million all over the world. And now this new outbreak there poses a danger to the rest of the world. The third topic of the week I'm covering is India's growing naval power. During the last 8 years, India has tried hard to add to its naval power. Thus, in October this year, we added a new aircraft carrier to our navy. And on 18th December, India further added a new destroyer, Mormungao, to its navy. Like the earlier aircraft carrier, this naval vessel has also over 75% indigenous components. The destroyer is equipped with state-of-the-art weapons and sensors, most of them manufactured at home, thus providing employment to thousands. It also carries stealth-guided surface-to-surface as well as surface-to-air missiles. Moreover, on 20th of December, Mazgaon Dock delivered the fifth Scorpene named Vagir VAGIR to the Navy. This was built under Project 75, which includes indigenous construction of 6 submarines of a Scorpene design. A conventional submarine designed by Naval Group of France, this is a multi-purpose submarine, robust and enduring. It works well both in deep sea and shallow water. It also fulfills the twin mission of anti-surface and anti-submarine warfare. It is also handy for laying out mines under sea as well as for intelligence gathering. Its weaponry includes torpedoes and anti-ship missiles. Friends, if you have liked this brief info on some important events of the current week, please like and subscribe. More weekly coverage of major events will follow in the coming weeks. Thank you.